Hello everyone, I represent Olabam's Creations, and today I want to show us how to cut a flounce or a frill, whichever way you choose to call it. There are different ways by which you can cut it. We can use a regular circle to cut it out. But in that case, if you need a very long flounce, that means you will need to join. But in this method, which is the cascading method, I can cut a very long flounce without actually joining it. I'll be making use of this paper instead of the fabric earlier mentioned, and the reason I'm going to be doing that is because I noticed the chalk wasn't showing on the fabric. So what I did here was to fold my paper into two just to find the crease. Then I folded into two again so that I can get the crease line, and by the time I open it up, I'll be able to find the center. So now, having located the center, I'm going to be marking the center using a ruler and a marker. If I'm working with fabric, I will need to work with fabric marker or chalk, but I don't even have a fabric marker here. Here is my center point. I'm going to be marking 2 inches or 2.5 inches round this from this center point that I picked. Since I'm making use of a smaller scale, I'll be using centimeters to represent my inches. I will now connect the dots together. After connecting the dots, I will now measure whatever I have around the circle and pick the center. That's the center. I'm trying to pick up the center. And for the second circle, I will also pick the center point. Inside this small circle, I have 4 quadrants. So let me label them 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want my flounce to be 8 inches. So from the middle point of that second quadrant, I will measure out the length of my flounce. I'm using 8 inches. Remember, I'm making use of centimeters. Let me connect it with a ruler so that you don't get confused. So from here now, which is the length of my flounce, I will now try to connect with a curve to the middle point of this quadrant 1. Then we can now start taking our measurement. Starting from the middle point of quadrant 2, I will take my flounce length measurement round the circle until I get to the first quadrant. When I get to the middle point of quadrant 1 here, I will pick my flounce length, which is 8 inches. You know, I've discarded that other line, so I'll follow the new line that I have. Then I'll pick my 8 inches and like that until I get to my starting point. So let us join the first set of circle that we marked with the dotted lines, and let's see what we have. Can you see? So from here now, I'll pick my 8 inches and continue until my paper is exhausted. And it's just falling in place now. So let's join this next set of dots. So I will continue to mark my 8 inches length until my fabric is exhausted. This is how far I can go, and this is where it is terminating, so I'll cut it. I'm going to get rid of all this excess at the side. I'm done cutting out the excess papers. The next thing is for us to cut out our flounce. I want to bring something to your notice. If you need a lining with your flounce, what you just need to do is to fold both the lining and the flounce together, and then you cut them at the same time. That was what I did with this one that I'm wearing. So what I did here was just the exact thing I did in the paper, but the beauty of this method is that I don't have to join. If I were to use the circle method, I'll just cut small circles. Look at it. This is more than enough for what I need. As long as it is, I don't have any joining. When I measured the length of this flounce, I think I have about 245 inches, which is more than enough for what I need. So, and that's the beauty of this method. If you find my tutorial helpful, kindly click the subscribe button, like, share, and hit the notification bell.